Okay, so today we are learning about adjectives. We've already talked about adjectives before. We've known about them since our last lesson, but here we're doing our notes on it, okay? We know that words that describe people, places, and things are called what? They're called adjectives. Go ahead and fill that in. We also know that the adjectives in Spanish are much different than the adjectives in English. In Spanish, I could say the White House, I could say the white book. And the white is the same for the house and the book. In Spanish, it would be different. Okay? Why? In Spanish, adjectives agree in what? Anybody know like the two little words? What is it? No, not quite that. All right, in Spanish, adjectives agree in number and gender. So what does that mean? What does number and gender mean? Number. You guys might know this. What's number mean for adjectives? So it's blank slash blank. What would that be in Spanish? Again, I could say the white book or the white books. White stays the same, but in Spanish, those two sentences would be different. So what's number mean? Very good. The singular. That's what number means. Singular and plural. And then gender, we talked about this, meant masculine and feminine. So that's the buzzword. Adjectives agree in number and gender. You guys should be able to know those words, number and gender. And you should know when I say adjectives agree in number and gender, you should understand what that means. Number means they agree singular or plural. White changes if it's one thing or if it's two things. And then masculine and feminine, white changes if it's a book or a house. It's a different word. Okay? Not that big of a difference, but it is. So if an adjective ends in O, what do we do, Michael Delgado? What do we do to change it to the feminine if it ends in an O? How do we make that adjective feminine? Good. You change it to an A. Okay? Who knows the word for funny? Gracioso. Okay? That's the masculine form. Gracioso. That's the masculine form. So if you want to say Juan is funny, then you just drop that in. Gracioso. How do you say Juanita is funny then? What do? You change the O to graciosa. Notice the difference. Masculine is O, feminine is A. Adjectives that end in E describe both what? Both genders. Very good. Both masculine and feminine. So if you look at the word interesante, it ends in an E. So if I want to say Juan is interesting or Juanita is interesting, it's the same word. I don't have to change anything. It's just going to be interesante. Interesante. Okay? Adjectives that end in an A in the masculine describe both masculine and feminine. Now, there's only one word that you know right now that ends in an A, and that word is deportista. We talked about this yesterday. Deportista means sports-minded, okay? So, it sounds weird at first when we're learning it, but if you want to say Juan is sports-minded, or like sports, you say Juan es deportista. You keep it in A. Juanita es deportista. And then the last rule that you need to know, and we need to know these well, if an adjective ends in a D-O-R, a D-O-R, to make it feminine, and this is a big change, especially when we learn the plurals, to make it feminine, we have to If it ends in a D-O-R, what do you do to make it feminine? You add an A. Okay? So the word trabajador. ¿Qué significa trabajador? What's it mean? It means hardworking. Because trabajar means to work. Trabajador is your adjective. It means hardworking. So if I want to say Juan is hardworking, I say Juan is trabajador. If I want to say Juanita is hardworking, you make it trabajadora. Okay? Any word, adjective or noun that ends in a D-O-R, you add that A. So the easy way to remember that is Dora, 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 the explorer. Dora. Okay? That's the song. It wasn't Dora, 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 the explorador. That's not how it went. Okay? Exploradora. If it ends in a D-O-R. If any other that end in a consonant, you don't add anything. So the D-O-R is a special one. And if you think a little Dora, then you should be able to get that. Okay? Preguntas. Anybody have any questions about this? All right, let's look at the first one down here then. Translate the following sentences. So, the one thing that you need to know is the word is. Okay? There's two words, I am and he or she is. How do you make it I am? Nope. I am would be yo, if you want yo, soy. How do you say he is? Él es. How do you say she is? Ella es. Okay? So the word for is in Spanish is es. The word for am, like I am, is soy. And tomorrow we're going to learn the rest of the conjugation of that verb ser, but you need it for tonight, okay, to finish this up. Juan is talented. You start Juan. How do you say is? Es. And then how do you say talented? Get out your vocab sheet and you look it up. Talentoso. Do you need to make a change to that? No, because it's singular masculine. But you look at Maria is artistic. Ace. When you look up artistic, you're going to see the word artistico. Can I just write artistico? No, I have to change that O to a A. Why? Because it's Maria. Okay, so artistica. Okay, ending in your A. You guys try and finish up 1 through 8. Okay, go ahead.